I do not believe that any of us have dreams that were not given to us for the purpose of accomplishing those particular dreams. And I want to share something with you that has changed my life. I started out, as was indicated by Jack, it's very humble beginnings. I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
Abraham Maslow said that life is about growth. And he said, you can either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again. Because you're never going to have a fear-free existence. I mean, some fear is acceptable and legitimate. There are some things that you really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You acknowledge it, you take it into account, and you carry yourself accordingly.
You want your stuff? It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program. And here's something you've got to resolve. Say this to yourself every day. See, as long as you're breathing, you got a shot at your dream. That's the way I resolve. Say this, please. It's not over until I win. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. That you've got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. That you have got to own what it is that you want to do. If it's just to take yourself to another level, it's you. You've got to make that happen. We can point out many things that can make it inconvenient or can slow us down. But ultimately, it's on us.
It's hard, and it's not unless you walk the journey, right? It's when you are in it that you're like, why don't they get it? Yeah? The world they're losing their minds. Have you ever seen something that nobody else sees, but you know it's there because you can see it? You're like, nah, and you explain it, but they don't see it, right? And in that, the only thing that keeps you sane is if the only affirmation you need is you.
Because you say it's possible don't mean that you're not going to have any problems. That Murphy's Law ain't gonna come and slap you side the head. You've got to be willing to stay focused, to be creative, to be relentless, because things are gonna happen to you when you're working on your dream, when you get on track.
The first thing to understand is that people see the world through their aim.
Yes.
Okay, and I mean that literally.
I understand.
And then the first thing that happens is that once you specify the aim, the pathway appears. That's how your perceptual systems work.
Yes.
And the reason for that is, well, if you can't see your way to get where you're going, then what good is it to see?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So much of what we think we're doing ourselves is being shifted by the outside world. So I say prime yourself. The same thing happens with creativity tests showing you IBM and Apple. Seeing those, that's all you got to do before the test. The ones that see the Apple commercial or even the logo, because Apple commercial was Think Differently, scored 22% higher in the creativity test.
One of the words that clumps with negative emotion is self-consciousness, which means that self-consciousness is so tightly associated with suffering that they're not conceptually distinguishable, which means, literally, the more you think about yourself, the more miserable you are. And it makes sense when you understand how social people are. We're so social that you can take the most antisocial human beings imaginable, so psychopathic criminals, and you can punish them by putting them in solitary confinement. That's
that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe.
a goal that is only serving your own, so to speak, narrow and proximal motives isn't one that's going to last. It has to be anchored in multiple ways, and it has to be worthwhile. But there is this insistence that's, I think this is the monotheistic hypothesis actually, is that there is a distal aim that unites all subordinate aims, and if you can ally yourself with that, you become something approximating an unstoppable force.
We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how we choose to use them. Successful people don't have more time. They just manage it better. So here's what I want you to do. For the next week, I want you to track how you spend every hour of your day. And I mean every hour. You will probably be shocked at how much time you're wasting on things that don't matter. Watching TV, scrolling through social media, hitting the snooze button. These are all thieves of time. Once you've done this audit, start ruthlessly eliminating time wasters.